Hi, and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the sun salutations that we did our last time together. Today we'll be focusing on the hips. So if you're not already warmed up in your body, I would suggest going through some of those sun salutations just to get your body warmed up before beginning this hip series. Today we will be using a block. This is what I'm holding in my hand. It's a prop that is an arm extender or a bottom extender is what we'll be using it to start off with. If you don't have a block such as this, you could find a book, you could find a pillow, a firm pillow that you can sit on. The purpose for using the block is to lift the bottom up off the floor to protect the knees. So with your block, we'll come down onto our mats. And the block is going to tuck underneath your sits bones or your firm pillow, whatever you found at home. The knees will point forward. The tops of the feet come to the outside edges of the hips, and the tops of the feet press into the floor. Here, draw into the low belly and extend through the top of the head, finding that length through the spine. Taking the hands to rest on tops of the thighs, and gently close down the eyes here, allowing the body to center and allowing the body to soften. So as you close down the eyes, begin to deepen the breath. And allow your sits bones to settle into that block. Feel the body softening, relaxing into the prop. Here you may be noticing some sensations into the quadriceps, possibly around the knees and the tendons. If your blanket or your block or your pillow is not giving you enough lift, you can turn it up another notch to come up a little bit higher. That's going to alleviate some of the pressure from the knee, or simply remove the block and come to sit just like this. Closing down the eyes. So however you've positioned yourself, we'll inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, release that right hand to the floor or maybe to your block if you've chosen to come up onto the knees. Inhale, rise up through center. And exhale, taking that left hand down to the floor if you're seated on your block, or to that block if you're up on your knees. Inhale, rise up through center. Exhale, release the hands. Very nice. If you're seated on your block, go ahead and push yourself up off your block and set your block so it's nearby you on your mat. We'll be using it throughout today's practice. From here, we'll turn and come into our child's pose. Knees coming out to the outer edges of the mat, big toes touch. Settle the hips toward the heels. Arms extend out in front of you. Bring the third eye to the earth. Nice deep breaths here. Feel the sensation into the hips. One more breath. On your next in-breath, shift forward to that tabletop, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Recalling from our first class together, hands splayed nice and wide. Wrist wrinkles parallel the top of the mat. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the big toes to touch. Exhale, straight right leg lifts. Here we'll bend the knee and open the hip, stacking the hips one on top of one another. Here you want the palms pressing into the earth. Your gaze is up underneath that right armpit. Feeling a nice opening into the front of the hip flexor, possibly into the psoas. That left heel is moving toward the ground. Inhale, level out the hips, and release right foot back to the earth. Take in a breath. Exhale, straight left leg lifts. Bend the knee and stack the hips. Gaze up underneath the left arm. Inhale, level out the hips and release left foot next to right, down dog. Here we'll come onto our knees for tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Take in a breath here. As you exhale, open your right knee out to the side of your mat. Draw this knee forward towards the elbow, back down towards the floor, picking it up and circling it around. Just creating some energy into that hip, ball and socket joint. Increasing the ojos or the fluids, the juices. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time. And extend this leg straight back behind you. Gaze forward, press into the floor, pull into the core. And inhale, release this knee back to the earth. Take in a breath. Exhale, lift the left knee. And draw this knee forward, circling it down, picking it up and moving it around. So same thing, just on the other side. Inhaling and exhaling. One more. Reach back through that heel. Draw into the core, press the floor away. And inhale, release this knee back to the earth. Press into the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Give this dog a little walk here. Drop one heel to the earth and then the other. Feel that shift of energy. Exhale, left leg lifts. Draw the knee in, step it through to the top of the mat. Back foot will spin down. Right arm picks you up for warrior two. Here, check in with that front foot. You want it pointing to the top of the mat. Knee opening out over second and third toe. Check in with your back hip. Spiral this back hip up and back. The back edge of the back foot presses into the earth. Sit tall in your torso, arms extend. Look out over the front fingertips. Moving into a little body vinyasa here. Inhale, soften. Exhale, extend out. Inhale, soften. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Exhale. Finding this flow of energy into the hips. Exhale here, hold your warrior two. Turn your front palm up, reverse your warrior. Front fingertips reach to the sky. Back hand is light on the back leg. It's not applying any pressure to the knee or the thigh. Draw into the core, bend into that front knee, extend through that front arm. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, front forearm to the front thigh. Back arm sweeps down, slices over the top ear, extended side angle. Nice deep breaths here. Really think about pulling your left rib cage up, creating an open space for the heart. Pull into the low belly. Reach that left arm off the left thigh. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, turn the left toes to the front of your mat. Lead with the heart as you bow, falling star. Now here, if your hands don't come to the floor, that's okay. Just bring your hands to your hips or to your shins, wherever your hands will meet for you. What I'm looking for here are the feet pressing into the earth, active inner thighs, so engaging energy into the inner thighs as you bow. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, half lift. We soften the knees. Turn your right toes to the side of your mat. Bring yourself up, warrior two. Again, checking in with that front foot, making sure the knees out over second and third toe. bending into that front thigh. Back leg strong, torso lifting. Inhale, soften. Exhale, extend out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale here, hold. Turn that front palm up, reverse your warrior. Remembering to breathe. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale that forearm to the thigh. Back arm sweeps down, slices over the ear. Extended side angle variation. Checking in with that bottom rib cage, spiraling it up, opening through the heart. Press into the feet, pull into the low belly, float that right arm out in front of you. Breathe. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Turn the right toes to the long edge of the mat. Lead with the heart as you bow for that falling star. Inhale, half lift, flatten out the back. Exhale, bow, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Here, soften the knees a lot and toe heel your feet in, bringing your heels under your knees. The toes will turn out to the corners of the mat. Draw into the low belly, lifting the heart here for goddess or horse stance. In this posture, please be sure that you have your tail drawn under you. I know in boot camp, when we squat, we push the booty back. In goddess pose, we want to drop the bottom straight down to the floor, activating the outer edges of the thighs. Draw the shoulders onto the back, pull into the core, cactus the arms. Inhale, rise slightly. Exhale, deepen in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, deepen. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale here, hold. Shoulders on the back, draw into the core. Drop the tail. One more breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Very nice. So from here, turn your left toes to the end of the mat. Warrior two. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, reach out over the front foot. So here, notice that my knee is not bending. My leg is straight. So we're pulling femur into hip. Micro bend the knee. We don't want to lock it out. Exhale out over the front foot. Inhale, pull back to center. So here you should be feeling a deep stretch into the hip and into that hamstring. Exhale here, hold. And from here, tip yourself over. Now the goal here is not to get your hand to the floor. One day that will happen. What I want to see is this top hip opening up and that you're staying nice and open into the heart space. So here's where your block would come in handy, bringing the floor to you. Okay. Rolling the shoulders back. Extend through the fingertips. This is called Trikonasana or triangle pose. Soften into that front knee, come up, warrior two. Good, reach down. If you're using your block, bring your block with you as you turn to the other side. Setting your block down inside your front foot. Again, drawing that thigh up into the hip, micro bend the knee. Exhale, reach out over the front toes. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, extend. Inhale, soften. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Exhale here, hold, and tip yourself over. Good. Reaching through that top hand, drawing the shoulders onto the back, open the space across the heart. Shining your light out. Inhale, soften into that front knee. Come back up, warrior two. Very good. Reach down, move your block out of your way, and turn the toes to the long edge of the mat. Again, lead with that heart as you bow. Taking your hands to rest where you will. And taking a moment to pause here and notice the subtle changes already taken place in the body. Notice that the body is becoming more pliable, more soft. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Here we'll soften the knees a lot. Toe heel your feet in. And from here we'll come to sit down on our mat. So you'll bring your feet around to the end of your mat. Again, reclining back onto forearms and elbows. Coming all the way down. Here we'll move into what's called a supine garundasana, a lying down eagle pose. Great stretch for the hips. Crossing right knee tightly over the left. Lift the left foot up off the mat. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders, reaching the hands for the ankles. Pull the knees into the chest and relax the head, neck, and shoulders back to the earth. Here, think about pulling the ankles away from one another, tightening that connection on the knees. Activate through the feet. Soften the shoulders against the mat. Here, think about energetically shifting your right hip away from your right shoulder. Feeling an intensity into this stretch, into your glute, into your hip. Nice deep breaths here, allowing the body to soften. On your next in-breath, gently release the stretch, taking your left foot to the earth. Bring your arms out to a T shape, leaving the knees tightly crossed. Take both knees to the right. Now, these knees will not touch down to the floor. That's not what we're looking for. This top leg is working as a lever, creating a stretch into the hip flexor, possibly deeper into your psoas. Again, soften into this stretch. On your next in-breath, rocking onto that left foot, bringing the knees back through center and uncross. Picking up the left foot, crossing left knee over the right. Draw the knees to the chest. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders, reach for the ankles. And then release head, neck, and shoulders back to the earth. Pull those ankles away from one another as you draw the knees down and into the chest. Activate through those feet. Soften the shoulders. Nice deep breaths here. Feel that stretch into the outer edge of the glute, the outer edge of the hip. With your next in-breath, release the stretch, taking the right foot down. Arms come back out to that T shape. Gently move both knees to the left. Nice, full, expansive breaths here. Notice as you inhale, expands the body, but also deepens that stretch. And as you exhale, the body softens. So that the next time you inhale, you can move more deeply into the stretch. With your next in-breath, rocking onto that right foot, uncross that left knee. Bring your feet as wide as your sticky mat. Your knees remain bent. Here we'll windshield wiper the knees, moving the knees to one side and to the other. Inhale through center, exhaling to the side. One more swipe to each side. As you move back through center, extend one leg long and then the other. And settle in for your Shavasana.